Okay, many of you have questions on the wine kits. Just got mine today. I'll show you step by step in pieces here. First of all, let's open it. It's not that heavy. It came by mail, actually UPS, I believe. I think mail. Anyhow, it came. So, here's what we do. We open up the box. Inside the box is another box. Well, I thought I was going to get something else with that. Some labels or something, maybe. Let's take a look. Let's cut this cellophane off. Plastic. Oh, well. Kit. 28-day kit. Oh, these are new. I'm doing Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir. These are the labels. Great for the kit. Inside is a monstrosity. Get rid of that before it gets cut. There's a bladder. For lack of better words, it's a bladder. It's like a blood donation from the Jolly Green Giant. But it's wine. It's going to be wine. This is a 6-gallon bucket I got from grape juice years ago. And I recommend doing 6 gallons, 5 gallons. You could do it 5 gallons, but this is a 6-gallon kit. And, you know, why not use it all up? So what I first do, I'll put this up here so I don't make a mess. I have my apron on because it does splash once in a while. You'll need a screwdriver for this. I've got this thing. Just to get this off. But you don't want to turn it upside down yet, so we'll put it like this to get the cap off. Sanitary conditions. Well, everything's clean. I'm not gonna go crazy on sanitizing, but it's got to be clean. These have all been cleaned from before. Now I take the juice and pour it in there, just like so. It's extra thick because it's a concentrate. That's why you could get a 6-gallon kit in the mail, equivalent to 30 bottles of wine. Now, you continue this to your 27-liter or 6-gallon level, and when you add water, water should be 70 to 75 degrees, maybe 72-ish. After this load, I will check it with a thermometer. So I'm filling the bladder. Dump it in. I'm going to do that several more times until it's full, where I want it. So I'm going to turn the camera off at this point. Now, this is package A, as you can see in the directions. And you are given a set of directions to follow. Put the date each step that you take so you know where you are. Now, this one says to put this in 4 liters of water, warm water, and stir it. which I have down here in the sink. Get my stirrer. This is my stirrer. You will need one of these for your carboy. I'll show you your carboy in a minute. But this goes down, it stirs in this type of a container with this end, and once you get your carboy, of course that won't fit in. You use the other end. So right now I'll use this end. Stir it just like they say. This has been sterilized. I'll add that to the fermenter. That's the fermenter. And I've already taken in use my thermometer. You should have a thermometer. This is a floating thermometer. Get them at any wine store, supply store, or online. Amazon has tons of things online. Let's face it. All right, I'm going to turn you off again while I finish filling that. At this point, I add oak chips. You don't have to, but it gives a flavor to the wine. And again, you get this on Amazon or different companies, but you add it to a cup of hot water. I'll do just about half of what I have here. That would be the same thing as putting in an oak barrel. A lot cheaper. Oak barrels for wine probably cost you over $100 a piece. I'll let that set for 10 minutes before I dump it into the fermenter. You just dump it in like this because it'll go to the bottom and it'll all work out at the end. We added some yeast earlier. It comes in the kit, and you put the yeast in a cup of hot water, let it set for 15 minutes, and then pour it into to the wine. At this point, everything is done. You find a cover. I happen to have the cover, and I drilled a hole in it and set that on top, and that hole just happens to fit my filler, the bubbler. And it's not airtight at this point. This is just, you could use just a sheet over the top of it because it doesn't matter. It's going to get air just to start the yeast process, the fermentation. But I have it in there, so I'll just put it in just to keep any fruit flies or whatever from getting in it. Not that there are any. But that's about it for this point. I just want to show you the carboy. I told you I would. This is a 6-gallon carboy. Now this is glass. It's very heavy. And I dropped one time. What a mess. It was full. That was always going to be the end of my winemaking career, but I decided to try it again. But I ordered this through Amazon, got a new one at a reasonable price. Next time I will show you some more equipment that you will need to do a good job. But at this point, we'll let this sit for 5 to 12 days, and we'll get back to the next step. So, arrivederci. That's all I know. Next, you need bottles. People always ask me on Amazon questions, where do you get your bottles? How do you get your bottles? I get them from recycle places mostly. There's several ways you can do it. You can go to events. You know someone's having a wedding or a big party, a community thing where they're serving wine. Ask the people that are serving it if you could get the empty bottles when they're done. They'd be glad to give them to you. They don't have to haul them back. Now, the other way would be to go to recycle bins. I've done that. Now, when you go to recycle bins, make sure that you have the right equipment to start with. Sorry, I didn't know it was on. First of all, you need the right thing. You don't want to reach down in a recycle bin. You end up falling in, or your feet are dangling out trying to get one that you really want. Get all uniform bottles, size-wise. It's very important. They all should try to be the same size, color if possible. And you put them in water. Put them in water, let the labels soak for a couple of days anyhow, at least one day. Then you can take the labels off a lot easier. Now, in order to get back to the recycle bin, what you need is you need one of these grabbers, so you don't have to bend way down. Now, this is one kind you see, cheap, but there's a problem with that. You grab a bottle, and if you're deep in the thing, and it slips right out. Now, this one is rounded. This is a rounded top. They're available. The other one will work, but this works better, because you can really grab that thing and pull it right out of it. Of course, this one's full, but it really grabs it and holds on good. So when you need bottles, don't feel ashamed. You need bottles. If you wanted to buy them online somewhere, they cost $1 a piece plus shipping. Come on. You could do that yourself, right? So that's enough for the bottles right now. But the next phase of that would be to just wait a couple days. Here's one starting to come off already. Take the labels off. Don't throw them back in the water because this all gets crummy in there. But get a pad with a sponge with a back on it so you can get the little bit of gum off. I don't have it right here, but that's all you really need. Get that gum off and it comes off pretty good. As far as this is concerned, take the shoulder strap off. Get a little knife, razor blade, whatever, cut across there and take that off. Just because you're going to put your new ones on. You don't want it over something else. It really looks cheap that way. All right, we'll be doing something else shortly. Now that we've got the labels off, the bottles are all clean. They're all pretty much the same. Try to get them the same. We're going to go ahead and wash the bottles. This is not sterilizing them by any means. This is just washing them. Because you never know what kind of debris was left in the bottles when you were putting in there in the containers, or even in our own water out there. So I've got some water, plain water, some soap. I've got a bottle brush. You have to have a bottle brush. You can't clean them. You have to have clean bottles. This is a must. You really have to have clean bottles. And as I said, this is just the preliminary step. So I'll just go ahead and wash them, rinse them out. Give it a little spin. The water goes out faster that way. Don't leave too much soap suds in, or any soap suds for that matter. It all drained down. The reason I know it drains down is because you have a special rack. You really should have a bottle drying rack. I will show you that now. I'll kind of hold the camera. Bear with me. I want to drop it. I'm going to show you now the bottle washing. We've done the soaking, get the labels off, but you have to wash the bottles too. You have to, some debris in it or whatever, you have to clean them before you sterilize them. You need a bottle brush for this. Get a bottle brush at any hardware store. Eventually you're going to need a bigger one. This is for the carboy, when you get the carboy cleaned up, because the carboy will have some residue in it. So we get the bottle brush, some clean water. You have to only soak about 4 at a time, but they come along pretty fast. To get the water out, kind of give it a little spin. Comes out faster. So I'll give it another rinse, clean water, fresh water. Give it a little spin. And then I'm going to take a minute here. I'm going to show you where I put them after that. So bear with me just a second. Now, I'm going to take you to my rack. This is a bottle rack, a bottle drying rack. Very, very necessary to be clean and have good bottles, good wine. So it holds 45 bottles or so, maybe 44. But basically, it turns them upside down, drains them, so there's no sediment in. All it goes down the little round thing, a couple of drops. You get that out with a sponge, no big problem. So you get all your bottles done, you just put them in that bottle rack. So that's about it for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do all, I always do at least 30 bottles, sometimes 31, 32. You need that many to do your batch. All right, until next time. All right, I put on a pan of boiling water. It has to boil. You want this thing sterilized. Then I have a ladle. It's got to be a steel ladle because of the temperature. And I have a funnel. And the funnel should be small enough to go inside, not just close to it. So I put the bottles inside, as I showed you perfect. Now, I'll put the funnel in like so. Now I'll take my ladle and I'll get a scoop of boiling water, slowly put it over here, put a little pressure on the funnel so it doesn't slip out. Pour it right in, my ladle back there, take the funnel out, swish it around a little bit, actually make sure it covers all parts of that bottle. A little bit of spillage there. Put it in the wine rack, the dryer rack upside down. That even sterilizes it more because there's no sediment in there. There's no residue, no water, nothing. From that point on, I will actually bottle the wine from that point. So at this junction, let me cut you off and I'll show you the next phase later when we totally bottle it. Now we're finally ready to do our bottling today. We got all of our bottles sanitized. They've been drying off for a day. You can do them instantly if you want. But I got tired and I did it yesterday. I'm doing it today. Now, first thing you should do before you bottle it, taste it. It might not be what you want. You may want to add something. You may want to add some juice, some grape juice, some sugar, or whatever. So I'm putting the thief in. That's what it's called. Put your thumb on the top, stop the water, stop the air from getting in. And I'll push it just a little bit. I'll get just enough. Put in my glass. Little wine glass, just a taster. So I will use that. Taste it. And if I agree with it, we'll move on from there. And you notice I've got the bucket again. That's because I'm going to be siphoning wine. There's no way you can do it without spilling something. I'm going to siphon it and keep all, there's what, 8 bottles in there. I'll fill all of them right to about, should be about an inch to the bottom where the cork would be. So I've got my siphon hose ready. I put tape on it. I judged about how much of the sledge is down there. And I put a little bit above that because I don't want that in there. So I will put that in to the wine with my stirrer. You definitely need that. You can't do much when you have a little opening there. What I want you to see here is you have to get one of these clips so it's on and off. So it's like they have at the hospitals, I would assume. You want to stop an IV or whatever, they just clip it and it stops it. And this saves you from making a big mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my siphoning process. I used the sterilized water that I had to sterilize the hose. So I'm going to start bottling and start filling them up. That's the main thing. So I'm going to take it, use a little vacuum to siphon it. It's the only little thing that it might do that's considered a little whatever. All right, so I'm starting the process. So as it gets close to the top, I can see it. I'll go ahead and shut this off. Go to the next bottle. Open it up again. Let the wine flow. You can hear it as it's filling. It's going to be foamy. That foam will go down. You don't want to ever bottle wine with foam in it, because it's air. The bubbles will release it. So, my third bottle. And I'll be doing this for 30 bottles. So bear with me. I'm going to stop this at this point. I said, I'm trying to get an inch from where the cork would be. Now, I saved that middle bottle in the filler, and I use that to take up the difference. So I'll pour a little bit of this in there, using a little funnel until I get it just right. And I'll do this with all of them until I'm done. All right, time to cork the wine. Got it all poured out. It's about an inch and a half from the top, which would leave about an inch for the cork. You have to have a cork machine, and you can get a hand-operated one. It's simple. This is about $45, $50. You can get this online. I know Amazon has it. I bought mine at a store. I paid $55, so I know they're a pretty good price. Put a cork in. Now, don't short yourself by using used corks from bottles that you've had. Don't do that. It shows. Not only that, but there's a good chance that when the cork is open, that the screw on all the way through, and that lets air in. That'll ruin your wine. So buy corks. They're not that expensive. Again, I'm promoting Amazon, it seems, but they've got the best deals. So you put the cork into the slot, push down, lift up, and it's done. If you notice, it's flush, right flush with the top. And you can adjust that right here. You can adjust that up or down the way you want. So let me do another one for you. As you see, I have another whole bag there. I'm particular. I look at the cork because some of them have little logos on it. This one has a glass. It's right side up. I like to make sure it's right side up. Fussy, yeah. My thing. Very easy to do. Very easy to do. Next part will be the labeling and the putting the tops, shoulders on, and that's it. That's all for now. Thank you. Now, finally, for the last step, we're going to put the labels on, and then we're going to put the shoulder on. The labels come in a kit. There's 30 of them, so they peel off real easy. If you wanted to be cutesy, you can make your own labels on the computer, use a glue stick to glue it on. I've done that for a couple of people. My dentist got a couple of good jokes off of it, and made a couple things for him. So that just sticks right on. Now, as I said, you get a glue stick for, you make your own labels with the computer paper. Just get a glue stick, use it on the back, and it'll stick permanently until you take it off. So that's what it looks like. Now let's get a nice shoulder. And be careful of these because they're nested together. And sometimes you can accidentally put two on one. So I just set it in place there. I used to dip that upside down in boiling water till it shrunk. It had to be boiling water. Very dangerous. Then I bought a heat gun. This is from Harbor Freight, like $8, $9 max. And you're gonna believe how fast and great that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. Now I gotta shrink it. So turn this on. It draws right up. Draws right up. I will do another one close up for you. Be careful of the heat gun, because even though it's turned off with a click, it's still hot. So you'll see how it's going to draw up. Now, that keeps it sealed. That wine will be in there. It won't spill out until the day you use it. It even has a little strap there to start it with. So, here we are with the finished product. Now this is a Pinot Noir. I prefer it myself, and my guests, my family likes it better. It's a red wine. I prefer red wine. I've had some heart issues, and red wine is good for me, and I drink a glass a day at supper time, dinner time. So enjoy. I've been a little rough maybe, but it showed you everything that was to be done, basically. And don't be afraid to try it. Just have the right equipment. It's not very expensive at all. Just spend a little bit of money, a little bit of time, do things right. Don't take any shortcuts, because it'll show, and it'll show in the taste if nothing else, and show in your taste. So thank you. Arrivederci. I don't speak any other Italian. I'm a third generation. Good luck, and I hope you do well. I enjoyed doing this for you.